unboxing.
Yeah, birthday unboxing. Check this out. DJI Mini 2. All right, let's see what this bad boy has to offer. So we've been wanting a drone for a while now. And the reason being is like, it's a very useful tool when you're out and about. Let's say you're in your Skoolie and you come up on a road that goes off-road and you're not sure where it goes. Well, hey, before going down that road and it potentially be a dead end or there's not enough room to turn around, you can pop this baby up in the air, fly the road real fast and see what's around the corner to see if it's something that you could negotiate with a vehicle of this magnitude. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted it. Another reason is it is such a cool perspective to be able to capture the landscape from a bird's eye view. It's so freaking cool. Now, something that has held us back from getting a drone is the whole traveling issue. Most places you have to have drone pilot license and have to cross your T's, dot your I's about being able to carry at places because a lot of places don't allow you to carry these around. Well, when it comes to traveling and when it comes to not having a drone pilot license, well, one of the things talks about how it has to be 250 grams or less in weight in order to not have a license. Well, DJI stepped up to the plate and made this one 249 grams. Thanks, DJI. So let's take a look at this unboxing of the DJI Mini 2. Ooh, look at that.
Look how small it is.
Look at those little props there.
Cute.
Let's grab this guy. Oh, it is light.
Oh my God. It's smaller than your hand.
Look at that. So right out of the box, it looks like the props are all taped together. It's got some instructions over here. Props on the bottom taped together. Gimbal cover locked in place, also with some tape. And it is very light. Very, very light. Okay, super excited about that so far. So there's that guy.
Sorry guys, we've got wool still all over our counter. We're still sewing up wool right there.
Yeah, we are.
That's why it's kind of messy in here.
Woolly woolly.
Construction zone.
All right, next up in the box, looks like there's some instructions and whatnot. We'll probably take a look at those at some point. Next up in the box, there's a little tray of goodies. Looks like a, let's see, a USB cord. And some more connection cables of some kind for something. Mini screwdriver, probably for changing the prop blades. Looks like, yep, Phillips for that. And some more prop blades. Another set. There's A blades and B blades. So that's
when he says prop blades, he's saying propeller blades. If for those of you who aren't up to speed, because originally I was like, what's he talking about? So if you were like me, propeller blades.
So an extra set of those. And then also these look like the joystick control thumb-a-roonies. Next up in the box, the control. Right. Look at that. It feels really good. It's a nice weight. Doesn't feel like it's flimsy at all. Oh, that's cool. Look, you could store your little joysticks right there. Probably screw those little guys right in. Oh, and
so there's extra joysticks?
Yeah, it came with an extra set of joystick. So screw that guy there and a place to store them. That's probably why they give you an extra pair, because they know that you'll probably lose them at some point. Store those guys there. That's cool. Looks like maybe a charging port right there.
Sweet.
I'm not sure how all this works yet. Oh, that just kind of...
Oh, for your phone.
Yeah, pulls out there. And then your phone probably just... let's see. I wonder if it matters which side is where. There we go. Nice. All right, so now we gotta get this thing charged up, read the instructions, and go for a flight.
Not sure if Brian mentioned this, but we also figured that if we got a drone, we could step up our videography game. And that is something that is really inspiring to us. And it's one of the big reasons why we actually got a bus in the first place, was so that we could take our bus and have the camera gear that we wanted to carry all in the bus, so that we wouldn't have to walk around with massive backpacks like we used to do when we traveled with just carry-on backpacks. So the bus allows us to have the creative things that we want and that we need, so that we can keep creating films for you guys. And also documentaries in the future is something that is so near and dear to our hearts and so exciting. So the drone is one of the components and the things that will allow us to do that.
Okie dokie, this guy right up here, we're going to build something here so that we can insulate it. And the frame that we use will probably be something that we could build cabinets with also. So I think we're gonna start with putting a board across the front here, have this lip come out just a little bit more, and then that'll be the base for the structure. There's all these little holes here, so I'm gonna take advantage of those, just so I don't have to drill new holes through the metal, and probably drill screws through that side and have the board coming out this way. There's this nice lip here and a nice lip on the other side. That'll be a nice spot for the edge to kind of help rest on. So we'll take a little advantage of those parts there. And then once that board's installed, then we could start building a frame off of that. So coming up this way and then following the contour of the roof, and that'll give us some structure to put like a little ceiling in there, a back wall on there, and then also put insulation, some more Havelock wool and stuff like that. So let's start finding some reclaimed wood. We got a whole lot of wood out there. All of this right over here, the majority of that, well, that's not reclaimed. That's the birch plywood that we're using for some cabinets. But all of this wood in there came from either pallets or is just reclaimed from old drops from old projects from friends who are like, hey, here's some extra lumber. So we're gonna see if we have something over there that will suit our needs for this particular end cap. So let's see what we can get going. What do you think? This fan here, might have to move that one. Might be able to find another resting place for it at some point, but that's a good fan. It's wired into the dash here. There's another fan that we have that's identical to this one that's brand new over in our pile over there. So maybe we'll find a place for that also, because I don't really want to lock this in where we can't ever take it out again. But it looks like it's got a nut down here, so we might be able to use this bracket. And then, let's see. It looks like the ground wire, it's grounded to this, so I don't know if that, we'll have to do an electrical test on it to see if we can like just mount it to wood or mount it to the bottom side over here, use this bracket and maybe make another bracket or something. This one feels like it's cast, so I don't think we could bend that one to do a bottom mount here. I don't know. We'll have to remove this though for this part of the project. Cool. go. That looks good. So originally I was thinking about building this kind of not in place, because I was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll build this whole thing out there and then just bring it in and set it in. But then I was like, you know what? Oh, hi.
I'm gonna build it right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna build it in place so I don't have to have such accurate measurements, because the ceiling, the way the ribs are and everything, they're kind of crazy. So I was thinking, okay, well, what if I make a solid platform first and then build a vertical over here, a vertical over there, and then build a piece that comes out that connects to this piece of hat channel up here, and then that one there, and then that way there's some structure now to start putting up insulation, and then also put up the back wall and mount the components and stuff that are gonna go up in this cabinet area.
What a good idea.
Yeah, so I think that'll be easier, and so far it's been pretty nice. It's nice and level there, and that reclaimed lumber there that I showed you the stack just a little while ago, I think it did really, really good. We'll get it all prettied up too.
Looks so good. I have to say, walking in here, the temperature is so much warmer than out there now. I mean, this front area is a little drafty still, but once we get some more weather stripping around this door, and then this all blocked in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the draft is from right here. Like, and I don't know if you...
Under the door.
Yeah, and under it, not this edge.
No.
That's pretty sealed.
Yeah.
But we're going to seal this up even more. So, it's coming along.
Yay!
Yay! So I was just making sure here that there was room between the top back edge and the ceiling here, so that we can pass wool over it. And there's about 1/2 inch. That should be enough just for that, around that edge. It feels nice and sturdy. And we got this one for the other side. This is pretty exciting, because before you know it, we're gonna be able to have a wall up here, nice little cabinet area.
Yay.
And we won't have to look at the ugly backside of these lights anymore.
Posterior.
The posterior side. That poke through a little bit. There we go. Nice. Nice and solid. Also has about 1/2 inch or so on that side. So the next piece we're gonna see, let's see. It needs to come up like this. So we might put a piece that spans those areas first. So a piece needs to come up through here, but a piece also needs to come across there. So we'll see if we have a big long drop of something from that pile over there for across there. And then we'll connect the two together. Whew. Got a mess here. All right, so these are the guys we're looking at. So all of these were actually parts of pallet skids. And we need to find one that is 46.5 inches long minimum. Let's see. That's potentially one. So even though these pieces, they're rough and they're going to be in the wall anyway, I didn't need to plane them necessarily, but I decided to do it because these were pallets and I just wanted to clean the surface and just get off whatever junk was on the surface. And so now they look like brand new pieces of wood. And I'm going to go ahead and Craig jig both of these together so that they make essentially one piece. I'll probably, I don't know if I could throw some glue in it. I think our glue might be frozen. So I'll probably just Craig jig them together.
Looks like Brian's got that under control. While he does that, I am just finishing up with the last little bits that go around the windows of, sheep's wool. I'm doing the insulation bits. So I'm making these nice long strips, as you can see. Right here. They'll go around the windows. And then just going around and double checking any little crevices that we may have missed. But yeah, we're almost done with the installation. It's so exciting. I really like the wool look. I'm so tempted to just not put walls up at all because it looks so cute and cuddly. I gotta say, hand stitching this wool together, I thought, oh, it's gonna be so annoying because it's a lot of work. But it's actually been so relaxing, and Brian and I have just enjoyed standing at our counter and sewing or hand stitching. It's been really nice, like so relaxing, and just listening to music and chit-chatting, and I just see great things for this counter. It's like the perfect size for two of us to craft and hang out and have good chats. And I can imagine friends standing around it and having lots of laughs. And the space feels so good. It just feels so good. This is our home now, for sure. So fun.
I like to preload my holes sometimes when doing them above the head sort of thing, because there's like a little divot that the tip of the Craig drill bit creates, and I just want to make sure that the screw seats itself nicely, because that gives the optimum angle for screwing. It's the optimum screwing angle.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Hot. That actually fits perfectly.
Nice.
That's like a perfect fit.
Yay.
Cool.
There it is, kids.
I think that'll work.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Perfect.
Nice. Dirty old plunge cut worked, huh?
Dirty old punch cut. That's Rose. That's great.
Okay, so guys, so that's gonna go like that. There's a little gap in the middle, but that's fine. We're gonna have a little piece for that we'll cut. But this will be the back furring strip for the back of the rear bulkhead. What do you think?
I'm so excited.
Ah, it's starting to take shape. Yeah. All right, let's attach it.
Look at this, guys. Screwed into the table.
One on each side.
There's the cut line. Oh, there's the cut line right there. Good luck and Godspeed. We did a science experiment.
22 and a half.
1, 2, 3 different colors stain.
Just in case you're wondering.
Upcoming project. I gotta say, we are rounding a corner with the wool project. Almost done. And I'm kind of bummed about it. Not because we're done insulating, because that's really exciting. But I'm kind of bummed because I really like working with it. And I like doing these big chunky stitches. And it just feels really rewarding. And it's just like so nice to work with. So, oh, and if you are interested in purchasing Havelock wool for your build, whether it's a Skoolie or a tiny home or a full-grown house on a homestead or something, Havelock wool is a really great choice. We've got a link in the description, so if you're interested, definitely check them out. They're a really cool company to work with, and they've been such a help to us. And reach out to us if you're looking for the Canadian distributors, because we'll hook you up with those guys too. They've been awesome, and we got our wool in like a couple days up here in Canada. So can't say enough about these guys. Havelock wool is amazing. So right now, while Brian is cutting the last piece for the shelf, I am just going to stitch up this piece, these pieces of wool, so that we can finish the end cap and get that buttoned up. So exciting. It was really nice to cover up the front header piece and put the wool over top of those ugly old lights. And yeah, it's feeling so warm in here. I'm actually way overdressed. It's like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius in here. I just feel really nice and cozy. It's so good. Some of you might think it's silly that we've used random pieces of wood to put this thing together. The rest of you would probably appreciate it because Brian and I are scavengers, aren't we, Brian?
Yeah, we are. And we reclaim things.
We figured in this post-apocalyptic world we're living in, we may as well be scavenging things and putting it together, or at least get pretty darn good at it. Because it doesn't make sense to your scrap pieces of wood go to the landfill. It makes a lot of sense to us that we use them. And this ain't no thing. We're going to make it nice and strong. And it's going to look adorable no matter what. So stay tuned. We're going to take this to really cute places, I promise.
Just wait till you see it finished.
Just barges in here like
There we go. This bus is not square.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Quarters. That's probably close enough.
Yeah, babe. This is all about approximations. Right?
Yeah.
The goal is really to live in here.
Sounds like a pretty solid goal.
It's not an art gallery.
Well, it is actually.
It is an art gallery, but some of the best art is abstract.
There we go. That one's still level. Nice and square. Nice and square. When nothing's square on the bus, it's nice to make it nice and square. So Erin told me earlier, she's just like, Brian, at some point, we need to make things square on this bus so it's easier to build on. So that's what we're doing right here. Even though this is tilted back. What?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said that. Even though this is tilted back, the piece of the wall that's gonna go here is gonna be the 1/2 inch birch that we've been using for cabinets and whatnot. So that'll go here. So it'll actually be cut at an angle so it kind of slides in there real nice. But the furring strips and everything will start to be more square for the cabinets. That way the shelves are nice, they're nicely spaced, and the shelf will end up being like a rectangular piece that goes in here. Something cool that you might be interested in checking out. So that one over there that's already furred out will have the wool there. You'll see that here soon. We got to get it set up. But these windows, we wanted to be able to keep them. So we were thinking, you know what? What if we just furred out the windows, built the box around it, and then have the shelves, and that way during the day, the shelving is backlit because light goes through the windows, right? And we'll have like either little baskets or it'll just be like clothes folded nicely and laid in there. But then that will act as an insulation also because there'll be some clothes there. And then we can have potentially like a thermal curtain that goes over the back window here. So these are all just ideas. We're not sure exactly how this is going to pan out because literally we don't have a plan for this right now other than the next thing I'm gonna do is measure where the next furring strip is, because it's like on a bus, nothing's really square, and it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna build a box and set it here. Well, this isn't a box. This is like a freaking polygram or something like that, where it's like multi-dimensional rectangular solid that has like angles and stuff on it. I'm sure that there's a geometric term for that. I remember that somewhere back here that I'm seeing it's like a I gotta research it and figure out what that is, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, this is the air intake. So we've got to put some seam sealer on this edge here because that you could actually see light out of, but everything else here is completely sealed already with seam sealer, it looks like. So we'll get that done and just continue building this out. And these are gonna actually be kind of connected. So the wall that comes here will be connected to the window here. And then this will stay high so that this cabinet will be kind of back set, but it'll still be high, and then we'll have a nice back covering there. So that's how it's going so far. And this seems to be like the best way so far that we've figured out how to put this together. We were thinking about putting more like vertical supports, but this wall that goes here is actually going to be all the way up to here. So that's going to have some stability. And then for the center area, we're going to have 2 dividers going across there that should be able to screw up into the furring strips there and along the ceiling material. So the ceiling's got to go in first before we put those verticals because we want to attach all of that together. So it's like a system that like you build up and then all of a sudden it just starts coming together, and I think it's gonna look really, really nice. Right now it's like, oh, look at that ugly edge. Oh, well, we haven't trimmed it out yet. That's coming up soon. Probably not this video though. Look at that. Erin did that. She made that happen. She's connecting all of this together and it's looking really good.
I was trying to figure out a way that we could get that droopy sheep's wool at the back to stick up without putting another furring strip. Show them where.
Right back here.
More furring strips on the other side of that rib.
we stapled this wool to these furring strips, but on the other side there's not furring strips. So
yeah. So I did a little zigzag from the wool on the far side over to the bat of wool that is tacked up to a furring strip. So I think it looks pretty good. You know, in your build, there becomes a time where you have to make some cuts from the team. There's ideas that you have, you're really excited, and you're like, oh, we need to do this and this and this and this and this, and all your ideas cost $1,000. Every single one of them costs $1,000 or more. Most of the time they do.
Or hundreds.
Yeah. It's usually a lot though, like the ideas, you know? And this idea in particular about not insulating around these windows, it's not really a cost one, but it is a cost one in the sense that it's going to cost us a lot of time to just try to figure this out. And instead of cutting out wood and then trying to figure out how to make this back area insulated, a little edge around the outside of it, we're just not going to do it. So we're going to put a curtain over it. Thermal curtain, and we're gonna call it good. That's what we're gonna do.
I feel like one of my biggest takeaways for framing out really weird areas is do it incrementally. Figure out where your squares are, where your horizontals are gonna be, because if the bus is not on a level surface while building that out, then using things like a little spirit level, this would be useless on a surface that is not level unless you're creating level surfaces on a bus that's not on a level surface, which might end up being weird. So trying to find your squares, and if you can get your bus on a level surface, jacking it up, leveling it out, then that would be the ideal situation. We're pretty level where we're at here in the barn. There's a little bit of slope from driver to passenger side. Not much though. It's like I think it was like 1/8 of an inch every 4 feet or something like that. Not a lot. However, it does make a difference if you do end up on a very level surface, and especially for plumbing, that makes a huge difference. So in this case, we're going for square off of this surface here, and that seems to be doing pretty well so far.
It's so crazy. You can feel a breeze coming through the crack behind the wool as I stitch them together. And then once you pull it tight, the breeze stops. I love that. So what I'm doing right now is just sewing up the cracks in the corner area, because these are kind of weird shaped pieces that are going together now. Well, this was a big rectangle, and then I cut the corner out so that these two can meet. And then I'll sew that line together. I'm sewing this line together. And then these guys I'm zigzagging and just attaching to this wool because there's no furring strip up here to staple into. So this should actually be great. Once the ceiling's on, it'll all just push up and these aren't gonna go anywhere. It's actually getting so warm in here that I don't need all these layers. I've got like two shirts on, long sleeve shirts, and a hoodie because it's so cold outside, but it's so warm in the bus. So I've got all these layers on, so when we go work outside of the bus, I stay warm. But when I'm in here, it's hot. Like, it's probably 20-something degrees Celsius. So good!
Now it's time to make some more shiplap boards for the walls, because we've kind of run into a barricade. We can't finish out all the stuff that we need to do around the windows and building out the frames. So we decided we were going to put the walls in beside the bed and then work our way up to the ceiling. We think it's an easier strategy. You gotta live to learn, kids. Live to learn. Here I go.
Thank you for your service, for drying these boards when it's cold outside. We're gonna put up some walls now.
Yay! We're gonna measure first.
You gotta measure.
Measure.
This one's 31 and 1/2.
This is so exciting.
This is, look at that.
Wowza.
Anything about that?
Look at that.
That looks like it fits real nice.
Mhm.
That looks like it fits real nice.
Mhm.
Wonder if we should see if it is square right out of the gate. Well, it's not square to that.
I don't know if anything's gonna be
I don't know if anything is square though, so I don't think it really matters. I think that it just matters that this is here and it's up against there, and then we'll just continue on.
Yeah. You gotta pick your battles. Sometimes, when you really get down to it, when thinking about it, this wall and that wall are going behind a bed. Most of the time, they're gonna be covered up. The only time you're gonna ever see it, or we're gonna ever see it, not you, probably not you, looking under our bed. No one's ever gonna see it. We'll lift it up. When we lift the bed up, we'll see it. But that's it.
So you cool with these little gold ones?
Yeah.
Right out of the gate?
Yeah, we don't need to use the fancy screws on this under the bed portion. The color of the windowsill. That. Or that. We already rolled this out. Drop in the comments. Light or mid-tone. What do you think? What do you think we'll choose? Because we're obviously going to choose before you choose. Not on purpose or anything, just because the time warp that we're in. This whole video thing.